right, let's go. Okay. Firstly, I want to apologize for the super late delay in getting this started, but the Gamer Idea Foundry is finally back, and hopefully will stay back consistently and not jump a whole year like it did from 2014 to 2016.
Better late than never.
But
True.
the topic of this podcast is, oh man, I'm hearing myself back in YouTube, so I'm hold on for a second while I correct that. I have the YouTube page open and it just started playing back in my ear, so I was like, okay, I'm talking and I'm talking. This isn't right. But the subject is Metroid Dread, which I was thinking of the possibility of what Metroid Dread would be. Now, I didn't really care about thinking about whether or not this would be a 2D or 3D game. So whether it be a classic style or prime style game, either would work. And there were different ways that either one could work. But when I started to think about this, like, where would this game fall in the series and how would this start? And then it hit me. Metroid Fusion. When Samus is in that coma from being attacked by the X-Parasite, that's the perfect place for Metroid Dread, because this game would take place in Subcom, which short for subconscious if people didn't catch on to that, like Super Mario 2 or The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening. They're both Subcon, so subconsciously happening, is in a dream state. That's the perfect place for Metroid Dread to happen. But before I roll into that any further, I want to introduce my guest. I have Mr. Red Fox. Could you say hello to the people, please?
It's been a while, but we're back, and it's time to. This is the Foundry, so I guess we'll be building games here. It's going to be awesome.
Ideas, yes. Building
bit by bit, block by block.
Fist by fist, but that's another thing to talk about at a different time.
Yeah, fist by fist. Fist by fist.
Okay, and I let that joke throw me off. Also have Liger of Enduo, so he's a first timer on here, and this is Red Fox's second time because he was on the very last one that I did, which was
no,
about
man, I was on the first one.
You were on the first one? No.
I was on the first one, the second one, the third one.
Well, okay, maybe I'm wrong. We'll see.
We'll see.
That was a long time ago, though. See, it was a year, man.
It's been quite a while.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Life happened, and it just
didn't
allow for me to do what I wanted to do. So. But go ahead, Laggy. Go ahead, introduce yourself to the people, please.
This is Lago, one half of Enduo, and it's a pleasure to be on this. We call it Digital Foundry.
No.
I'm messing with you. I'm messing with you.
I don't want to be. I want to be associated.
That's why I said it.
I just have one question. Where's that missing frame?
Game Foundry. Where we talk about ideas, since this is the Game Idea guy. Like I said, I had a cool time having. He also was the initiator of my one-on-one, so yeah, it's cool to be on your podcast, Andre.
The Revived from the Dead podcast that has been. people have asked me about this like several times within the last couple of years, and I was like, well, not last couple of years, but the last year, and I was like, well, I want to do it, but life just said, no, you can't, bro. You gotta wait.
That's how it goes sometimes.
So, now that that's all out of the way, how would you guys like to tackle this first? Because I wanted to talk about a 2D Metroid and a 3D. I'll let you guys pick which one you want to jump on first.
Let's do 2D first.
I'm cool with that.
Okay.
Yeah, and then because 3D is more.
It definitely does take more work and more time.
Yeah. 3D is more. You can do more in a 3D game than a 2D game, and I know I know people are gonna get mad about that, but I mean, like,
Yeah, you
it's more
got
expansive.
there's more dimensions to think about.
Yeah. So I don't know about you guys, but I know you said the subcon thing, but for me, like, just looking at the lore that they already have in Metroid, there's some unanswered questions, some of which we're actually getting the answer to, like what the Federation does, because most of the time they're like in the Metroid games, you're like Samus is the disaster cleanup crew, like
Or the
basically like you get
disaster.
to see what happens when things go wrong, you know.
Yeah.
And I mean, you know, they're the Federation, a unity of planets from multiple races and species that are working together towards a common goal. Clearly, they can't always just have the pirates busting and messing stuff up. So we're getting a game that's going to explain that. But I want to talk about something they haven't talked about, like where the Chozo went.
That is a good question. That is definitely a good question because I'm curious about that myself.
I mean, I've said this in other casts, but this is the Metroid cast, so might as well say it here. I mean, like you play Metroid Prime and Metroid Fusion and Metroid Zero Mission and the original Metroid, and like they're always saying the Chozo gave all this technology to all these different people, and like they've integrated it with all these different other species and stuff, and they seem to be relatively altruistic. But history has shown us that people and nations that are that altruistic, if you go far back enough into their history, they did something horrible that makes them feel guilty that they have to be that altruistic.
Hmm.
And I really want to see what horrible thing the Chozo did that made them say, you know what, we should just give up all this technology, become ascetics, go around helping other species. Like they must have, I don't know what they did, but it would be a really cool story to create that has Samus going back and finding out what these people did that made them want to create the Metroids and like the Aurora units. Like what did I don't know. I mean, did they destroy an entire civilization? Did they burn? Did they destroy a solar system? I mean, what?
So you basically saying we know the Chozo messed up on something. We just don't know what.
Exactly. I want to see. Like the 2D game, in my opinion, and this is just me. I think it would be. You know, I know people say Metroidvania, but we didn't call it that back in the day. It was just a Metroid game.
Thank you.
Um,
That's what it is called. I don't
yeah,
understand how that got together when Metroid came out before Castlevania.
Yeah.
But anyway,
It's,
go ahead.
like
it's a
I
thing of
think
popularity, but yeah.
I think the game. I think it would be cool, kind of like how they did with Fusion, where you could like link the console game and the handheld game together. Like maybe you could continue to have the subcon thing, but Samus is part Chozo because they gave her some of their DNA and blood because she was so jacked up after those pirates messed her up like that when she was a kid. So I mean, maybe there's a telepathic call that like the Chozo are like, okay, we've gone back to our original home planet, and there's some jacked up unfinished business that needs to be taken care of. But as we've established in all the other games, like Samus is the prophesied warrior that has to basically clean up all their messes. So I mean, it would be cool if like subconsciously like she uncovers the hidden secret of where the Chozo went and like what they did, or at least a hint to what they did. And then like when you do the 3D console game that links with that, like that information, if you played the handheld game, it makes it more like you don't have to have everything explained to you. You know what's going on. Like it would be your standard Metroidvania fare. I don't want 2.5D just because it doesn't really work for Metroid, in my opinion. Like it. Well, no, it could probably work, but you'd have to really design it to really utilize that 2.5D, and
Well,
I'm kind of a sucker for old school.
I would say with the way the Wii U was designed, it'd be possible, but we also know it's not plausible right now because of how far into the life of the console they are.
Yeah.
But you did bring up an interesting point that I didn't actually think about outright, and that's to have two separate games that are two representations of Dread within the Metroid series, and that actually could work out even better. To have the 2D game And I would want thinking of it this way. I want the 2D game to be in Subcon, and then have the 3D game actually be like the situation that you're led into, which would make it have to take place after Metroid Fusion,
Exactly.
which would work out perfectly. Because if it
Yep.
has to take place after Metroid Fusion, we don't know what was going to happen. All we know is Samus got a new ship, and she had Adam as the AI to that
Yeah,
ship.
yeah.
We don't know what was going to happen after that. So they could go into exploring the Chozo being missing and things of that nature, and the dream that she was in, the dreaded dream, as horrible as that sounds, that she was in could push her to want to go do that, but she had to take care of her mission in Fusion first, and
Yep.
then move on to her personal business with the Chozo.
And
That would
maybe
actually
playing. No, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say that would actually be a really good way to get things started. Like, do
Yep.
that game first, and then have the other one be a follow up
And
on
maybe
that.
playing the 2D game could like unlock certain things in the 3D game. Like,
Yeah, that would be good because utilizing her memories from her.
yeah,
You play the game, you have the save data. Then Samus has memories of the dream that she was in, and those dreams will reveal certain things to you that you would not catch on to if you don't play that first game.
or even better, you could have parts where she reeks, she wakes up from this coma, like brief moments, and there's
Mhm.
other stuff going around that seems like a insignificant story. Like this explorer is is charting this uncharted part of the galaxy, and like they found they got a distress signal, and they're going after what it is, and then like maybe like later on in the game, like she wakes up partially and she hears more information. It's like, why is this story important? But then towards the end, it just like this guy gets a distress signal from what is essentially the original Chozo home planet. So in the second game, like when she gets this information, she's like, yeah, like she's like, well, it comes from this part of the galaxy, and she already knows it. And they're like, how the hell you know that? She's like, well, it came to me in a dream or something like that. Um,
So
Whatever.
basically, Operation talk over her while she's getting treated for the X infection.
Yeah,
She
because there's
picked
other
up
stuff
on it.
going on, you
Yeah,
know.
that I could get that. I mean, they didn't disclose a certain amount of time it took for them to get her up and running again, so there's a lot of room to play with there.
Hmm.
All right, not bad. Uh, that's a
What you
cool
think,
idea.
Liger?
I mean, I could go three other ways than what you guys just did.
But
Go
I
ahead.
know because you more familiar with it, so
Yeah, you're a Metroid fan.
I'm a Metroid fan.
No, the only thing you need to do is be a Metroid fan and have played more than just Metroid Prime. That's the only rule here.
Well, I played all of them, so maybe.
Yeah. I'm a
I
Metroid
think
fan.
I've
How
played
many
at
did you
least
play?
I've at least
Just one.
played every Metroid game one time in my life. I've played at least every one of them once. So
I've done the same thing. Matter of fact, I beat 2 first, and then I played the first one,
That's how
and then I
that's how was gonna
played.
do.
Yeah, and I didn't even play the original first one on my NES. I had the Game Boy Advance like classics, where like it was like just that game. Like, and I still love that game. I still love Metroid.
I
Okay.
never beat it on the NES. I did play it through Prime with the Game Boy Advance.
Yeah.
But I beat it then. So
Nah, basically like I say, I'm gonna have a video series talk about this as well, to like how I play the game and walk all the way up to where it is right now. But to go with you guys' idea, which is not bad with the whole subcon, and you could that's again the whole Dread. I'm going back to thinking, okay, so Metroid Dread was mentioned in basically in Metroid Prime 1 and 2, they were talking about this Dread thing. It could be the Metroid Dread could be itself a Metroid.
that would be good too.
It could be a Metroid that they found. It could have, maybe it could be just like how like Rare was bringing up the whole Chozo thing. Metroid Dread could be like the basically the alpha, the origin, like with the DNA that the Chozos took to make the Metroid and duplicate it.
That would be cool.
So that's just as a boss that you can find. Can remember now, all the Metroids have been wiped out except for what's in Samus's body, and that could be where you could get the Metroid from. They find the Dread so you could keep it, because everybody knows Metroid with Metroid. You gotta have the Metroids in there in most cases. I don't know if Fisher Force gonna have it. I know they're gonna kind of false put it in there in a way because of how it is. But remember, this was taken after the Prime trilogies for Vision Force, so it was before SR38, before Samus went to there and eradicated almost all the Metroids. So the Dread could be the one that could be the original thing that maybe could be, and you could the ideas of having a big Metroid or something like a evolved version of the Queen Metroid. So
that'd be cool.
That could be Metroid Dread, just as a standpoint of saying that, and it works with what you guys just brought up.
I would like to see them bring back a Queen.
Well, like I said, they could, but it could be something evolved more than Queen. Because we saw the Queen twice. We saw one in 3D.
So basically, like the I guess the most dangerous version of the Queen.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, because we saw two Queens, and we saw one in 3D, which is Metroid Other M, and then we saw the 2D version, which was Metroid 2, Return of Samus. So it could be that regard. So that's that. So, but going on your, like, the ideas I was talking about, like, say that Samus was traveling. The two ideas, other than that, what I just said, that work with your ideas, like, say the same thing with Samus, that she was traveling and she got pulled into she was traveling, something happened, she got pulled into an alternate world. And this also is an idea that me and Red Fox talked about with Star Fox. They could work for Star Fox too. That it pushes Samus to time travel back to figure out to go to what Ray was saying, to find out what was the Chosen all about, and maybe we can find out why they disappeared, like you were saying, Red.
What's going on?
Oh, what up, Shep?
I just saw a random hangout post from the Game Idea guy. I was like, what's going on with Andre?
But I'm doing the Metroid Dread podcast. You forgot?
Oh.
But
okay.
But
you in now?
Oh no, I gotta dip out soon. I was just curious to see what was going on. Say hello to my homies.
Interrupt people's thoughts.
Man, you broke the thought train on that one, bro.
What up?
You broke the.
Are you guys live?
Yes.
Oh crap! Peace.
You're live and loaded.
Anyway,
and that was Commander Shepard for everyone.
Yep.
But
he came in, he shot the Reaper, and he left.
But anyway, going back to what Ray was saying, like it goes back, and then maybe you can find out what happened between the Chozos, and Samus could look at it like a pseudo, like. You know what? And now I think about it, it could go. It gonna make it more complex, but it can work if it goes like Bayonetta. Like maybe the Chozos molded Samus's suit because they saw her suit from the future that they came back to. Catch what I'm saying?
Could be, because no one else has armor that looks like that.
Yeah, so I'm saying, like, she went back and then she saw the Chozos, whatever. She never revealed herself, but the Chozos saw this suit. And she's helping the Chozos fight off the pirates, or fight off the ex-parasites, or fight off something. Because remember, they created the Metroids for an energy source, and then of course, but most of the Metroids were created to stop the ex-parasite that was on SR38. Because that's what the SR38 were doing exactly what Samus did in Fusion did to the Chozos. So. It could be good. Remember, I don't think all Chozos were good, so there could be a faction war that's going on in there. And then Samus was on the sideline, but then she got thrust in. And then at the end, the good guys saw this warrior did so much stuff that these guys helped create the suit. And then when they got Samus as a kid back in the future, they created a suit molded after what they saw Samus then.
So it's like some Inception type stuff.
Like Bayonetta, like I said, like Bayonetta.
Yeah, that's some Inception stuff. That's cool.
Yeah, that actually, man, there's so many things that could be done with it. That would definitely, like you said, make the story far more complex. because
But
then you have to remember all of the things that she's done in the future and not like do anything that would mess that up. So
Yeah, I got you. But the reason I go Bayonetta style because remember her stuff was self looping, but it didn't affect the story like except the future that much. That's why I said Bayonetta
nah,
style.
it didn't really mess up her. It didn't mess her future up anything
Yeah,
at
that's
all.
why.
Really.
That's why again. That's why I went with that concept. But that one's a little more convoluted, but it could still work in the way I set it up. And I mean, I could go in more detail. But the one that I think that would be easier and more linear to go with, and I think a lot of people ask me for this, is after Fusion. Okay, Samus is the only Metroid left. Again, you still have the Dread again. The Dread could be the Metroid Dread, like I just talked about, the evolved version of the Queen, or maybe because nobody has the Queen lay eggs. They still have not talked about if the Queen was asexual. I've not seen that in anything.
A male Metro. Well,
I'm just
from what
saying.
I understand, just from what I understand, like the Metroids are kind of like a knockoff of the aliens from Alien. There really isn't a male. It's just like she just lays eggs, and I guess like the egg that like meets the right conditions can become another queen. I guess.
Well, yeah, that I know. I mean, and I'm not trying to mess up the law. I'm just saying it could be, like I said, we still. It's just the way how the egg evolves, of course, into the which is Metroid. In 2, we saw all the phases of the Metroid up to the Queen. But I'd like to say, but okay, let's keep it to Dread. Say that evolved version of the Queen, because remember, I'm just thinking of the Metroid Dread being the originator, the origin of Metroid, where they sample everything from. So,
okay.
So if that's the case, then we go after Fusion. So after Fusion and basically after other M and Fusion, you figure out Samus gonna have to say, okay, something's going on with the Federation. Why are they trying to make a lot of these bioweapons? Because in Fusion and in other M and Fusion, that's what they did. They went against what they're supposed to be doing. They're supposed to be protecting.
The Federation?
Yeah, remember because in Metro Other M, remember at the end the Colonel was like she called Samus that you are not a part of you're not a part of this no more. You people are not a part of the Federation. And
well, they were doing dumb stuff like in Fusion. They thought they could control the SAX.
That's what I was gonna say.
The X parasite.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Like, remember, okay, so the other M at the ending, he basically he said this information is not privy to outsiders. They call Samus an outsider. So and then in Fusion, remember they were helping. They wanted Samus, as Andre said, to clean up certain things. But then what happened was they stopped giving Samus the upgrades. Because they figure out that SAX is just as powerful as Samus, but she don't have the AI. She's not a she's not like a being like us that we have our own thoughts and whatever that we might could trick her. Because remember, they try to control MB in other M, so they might. That is true. So they might try to do the same things with SAX. So they stopped giving her all the upgrades. Of course. The Aurora Arena, which was Adam Malkovich, gave her the upgrades, by messing stuff up. So now Samus could be like, okay, why is the Federation going against upper ups? Not saying like the grunts. Somebody's in the Federation is corrupt, and you got to be upper up.
And not only are they corrupt, they are very, very stupid. I mean, like it's bad enough you're corrupt, but then you're stupid on top of it. Like, okay. Like, because even the pirates couldn't control Metroids. Like, you play Metroid Prime, you're constantly saying, please do not play with the Metroids. Like, there's like a dude stuck in a Metroid tank that's been fed on. It's like, damn, you people just don't get it, And then they, like you said, they tried to resurrect Mother Brain. Well, they did resurrect Mother Brain. It's like, yeah, because that worked out so well the first time. You never had any problems with Mother Brain.
Well, yeah, but the thing I was saying, if you could find the ultimate weapon, remember that's one of the reasons they send Samus to find when I forgot it was the Guru or whatever in Prime Hunt in Metroid Prime Hunters. That there was because it sent out a signal to be that there was a ultimate weapon.
Yeah.
It was the Omega Cannon. So it could be one of those things where the operators were like, well, if we could find a way. You know what? I ain't gonna lie, but that's human nature. Let's just say, let's keep it together. That's human nature. If I could find something that could keep people in check, they're gonna find it. So they might have, like I said. So Samus is gonna go and say, okay, you guys battled me twice. You know, I remember Adam Malkovich being on the ship, like Andre was saying, like, hey, I downloaded while they were traveling. Like, I downloaded schematics, and I think something's going on. Because remember, they did the bottleneck. The reason Adam Malkovich were in other M because the Federation did experiments without, and he know that the experiments was gonna create messed up stuff for Metroid. So maybe his Aurora unit that Samus downloaded into the ship would say, look, something's going on. I got before I lost access to the Federation computers, Aurora units. I picked this up, and maybe Samus is gonna go and try to figure out who's the corrupted person inside of the Federation force. I mean, in the Federation. So that's the next story. That could continue the story after Fusion instead of going backwards if people don't want to go that far back yet.
I'd play it. I mean, I like the universe of Metroid. I like what they're capable of. I really do, and I would really like to see where they could go with it. You know what I mean?
Well, I'm looking at all. Like I said, that point I just brought out is all the stories I'm looking at, and like going through all the stories that to memory and from the manga and everything. I'm like, okay, that would be a better way because basically, remember in Metro Prime Corrupt, everybody's like anything could be corrupted, so it could work off. It could work off that point that okay, the same maybe the same guy who told Samus he's an outsider is like one of the lackeys of the one of the government. Because remember, this is a like you said, Red, this is the Federation is a combination of all different aliens or whatever underneath one band, and maybe one of the aliens found out, hey, we could control humans and the other aliens by doing this. So again, it could be that's why, like I said, that could further the story beyond Metroid Fusion.
Yeah.
See, now you've got me thinking of like names for like the different games. So and the thing is, I'm thinking of sticking with like a theme of the letter D. Like Metroid Dread would be the first game, then we'll go with Devastation for the second game, and then the last one we could end up with like Disaster, like to end it all.
So you want to, but the thing is, like, if I was gonna make this into a multi-game thing, I would want the last one to, like, I would want it to end on a note because, I mean, there's one thing to say about Samus. She brings peace out of confusion. Okay, when Samus is called in to deal with something, I mean, let's keep it real. Whoever had the button pushed on them, they done fucked up. Because when Samus is called in. Like, look, there's not going to be any Miranda rights. It's not going to be any, hey, this is just a warning. It's the end. It's over.
Well, you know what? I think they going with your idea you just said what a name and seeing what Red just said. How about Metroid Destroyer? Because most people look at her as what she's done in the past, destroying Planet Zebes, SR-38, the Bottleneck, all these.
Yeah, that works too.
Destroyer Don't forget what she did to Heather. Okay. I mean, she committed genocide on She commits genocide on a planetary scale multiple times throughout the entire series. I mean, she might be the greatest hero or a serial killer. We never know.
Yeah, I mean, she destroyed a whole Ing race. That's what it was.
Yeah, that's genocide.
No, that's what it is. But genocide of remember that was after that the Phazon thing split this planet into two.
That's true. So, I mean, I understand what you're saying, but just on a strictly, still, because I mean there were they're like usually like the little container ones. Look, man, I'm just holding some shit. I didn't do shit. I'm just holding shit. Jesus. I mean, my point, I mean, I get what people are saying. I'm just saying that this is a woman, like, if They put this. Forget Boba Fett. If Samus gets sent after you, you might as well just pull out a knife and slit your own throat before she gets to you, because it'll be faster and easier and less trouble.
I got you. But I mean,
If she's coming after you, it's like, Samus, oh shit. I mean, that's what's so terrifying about Metroid Fusion when the SAX Samus thing is walking around, because that's basically how the other things that Samus is hunting. That's
how they feel her. That's how they feel about her.
It's terrifying.
Well, that's what they call it. That's why in the Prime, when you read the thing in Metroid Prime, they're like they call her the hunter. They say it was coming, and you're like, oh crap. You saw it. I think when you got to the planetarium, the planetarium stage, when you scan it, you're like, oh, the hunter is coming. Oh crap.
This is why it was important. This is why it was always important to scan in the Metroid Prime series, because you found little tidbits you would not catch if you didn't.
Yep.
Well, that's what I liked about it, because the Metroid Prime. One of the reasons, again, I love Metroid itself is that's the only game that I've set all 15 games. Well, no, 14, because it's not really that much you could do with a pinball. But you collect artifacts, but it's still not the same in that regard. But all the games except for that one, I've 100%ed it, like everything.
They all kind of have something going on that explains more of the lore, but it's like they give you little tidbits, like a crumb here, a little bit here. It's like, like they're appetizers, and appetizers are good, but now I want the
full course meal.
I want the full course meal. Because here's the thing: the Metroid universe is this massive, sprawling space saga. There's room for other stuff. They're giving us a game where you have the Federation Marines doing the best they can to stop the pirates. That's awesome. Shout out to the Federation Marines. Samus is also a Federation Marine, which makes her even double badass, because not only is she a Chozo, trained by the Chozo, she's trained by the Federation. This woman knows how to kill shit and make it stay dead. Okay? She's good at it.
Except Ridley.
Except Ridley, I think at this point, Samus, whenever she sees Ridley, she's like, "Oh great, I get to kill my most hated person in this entire galaxy again." Like, there's a certain joy to just blow. She's like, if you reformed 1,000,000 times and I had to kill you 1,000,000 times, it still wouldn't be enough. I think at this point for Samus, but maybe. But I mean, I'm just saying it could be a really awesome. Like, I would like to see them start this game in a 2D kind of mold, and then kind of lever it, have it the 2D game is you discovering that something the Chozo left because they have to deal with something horrible they did a long, long time ago, and rather than dealing with it directly, they said fuck it and ran away, and they maybe how they dealt with this horrible thing is by essentially doing all these altruistic things. But eventually, they couldn't run away anymore. They had to go back and deal with it directly. But I mean, the Chozo are a diminishing race, right? We get that. I mean, they've reached the plateau and they're starting to decline just as a civilization. So it's up to Samus as kind of the I guess I don't really I don't want to call her the progenitor, but the fulfillment of the promise, the ultimate warrior, the Metroid, because if you read those mangas, Metroid just means great warrior in the Chozo language. So Samus is the Metroid. So you have basically her having to deal with this, and maybe have for once not have the space pirates always be the enemies. Look, I like space pirates. They're great.
Well, that's what I was gonna say with the fusion. With what I said with that being that the Federation that. They have. I mean, unless I could add on to it. I could add an extra one onto it. But just saying, having the Federation now go against Samus in that regard.
Now that doesn't mean there are no space pirates.
And you must have read my mind, because that was exactly what I was thinking. Yeah. So give me 1 second to just kind of roll you over my thoughts after digesting everything that you guys were just talking about.
Go for it.
Now, I still like the idea of doing a subcon thing. Mm-hmm. And maybe this wouldn't have to be 3 games, but maybe a 4-game stretch. Do the subcon thing, like I was talking about, from that little section of that little sliver of space in Fusion when she was completely unconscious, and have them talking around her, and during the game she discovers things in the game, but we come to find out that was the conversation that they were having over top of her. Then the game that follows that up, that slides in after Fusion, that Dread would be the first one. What was that? I said Dread, Devastation. Devastation could be the second one after she has taken care of the situation in the space station, and she tries to go back to the Federation, and she comes to find out that they have barred her completely from entering into any facilities that they maintain. She is completely barred. She can't go back.
She's an outsider.
Yeah, she's a complete outsider at this point. She ends up following the trail from the coma dream, the coma that she had, the dream that she went through that nightmarish dream that led her to follow up on Chozo and try to get information on them, and that leads her to another star system for a little while, where she starts to come across artifacts and things. She gathers information on them, and she comes to find out that they had foreseen the turn of events that she's going through at current, and it leads her on to going back towards the Federation, to this time with the mind to stop them because she knows what path that they're on. This could lead into I can't think of this one because I went Destroyer as the last one. I said Devastation, just Dread, Devastation. What was the other one I said? The other D. Disaster. Disaster would be her going back to the Federation, and we know this would be a disaster for them.
Yep.
Because that means she's coming there to kill. She's not going to take her time and be cordial because she's in the kill. And this is when we would see the beginning of the conflict between her and the Federation.
I like that idea, but I mean, we've already established that there's a corrupting presence within the Federation. Mm-hmm. But I wouldn't want to see her just like destroy the entire Federation, because I mean, there's some good people in the Federation, like Admiral Dane.
Yep.
This is true.
I mean, you know,
very true.
That guy, the one black guy in Metroid Dread.
But there's nothing necessarily saying she's out for all of the soldiers.
No.
She's going after the people she knows are in charge.
No, what I'm thinking is that these aren't even like, I'm thinking there's like a shadowy puppet master, and I think that the shadowy puppet master, I mean, once everything is revealed, and I know this is going to be kind of cliche, but I don't care.
Go ahead.
You're going to find out that the original, the shadowy puppet master behind all of this is the person who they basically, this Machiavellian thing to corrupt the Federation, the whole, like, the wars, whoever keeps on trying to control Metroids and Parasite X and all that stuff is the same person that the Federation patterned the mental engrams on the original Mother Brain. Whoever this person is, I don't know. We don't know. I'm just saying that would be awesome.
Hey, going off of what you just said, Ren, and that's what I was thinking of. Here's the next thing that you could add to it. Say that, to encompass all this stuff together, like you said. Say that after Fusion, remember she got a new ship that's basically off the radar.
Completely off the grid because our old one is destroyed, basically.
Yeah, Adam Malkovich is basically her own personal Aurora system because she downloaded it into the ship. She's traveling, finding out, something's going on with whatever, and she happens. The next thing you could say is she perchance to find traveling can't get into cannot get into the as being an outsider. She perchance to find the last remaining species of Chozos. And the same person, like Red was saying, I was thinking that Man, this is gonna be evil, but again, this kind of like spoils the story if they ever do this. That's what was sad. But it's like, okay, so she found Chozos and she whatever, but found out that's because every Metroid somebody always tagging after Samus. You always
Yeah.
see like somebody always like keeps an eye on Samus. When she destroys a planet, there's a ship somewhere in the past. It always flies off.
There is always somebody like just
Yeah, cause
stalking her.
when they destroyed Zebes, there was a different star going opposite the way where Samus' ship was when Zebes destroyed the Super Metroid.
Yep.
In Prime, there was a ship lurking in like behind when Samus flew off from I forgot the planet, the Sanctuary planet from Prime. When she took off her suit and everything, and she looked up, trying to remember all the people that she had took down, and say okay, and then she flew off. Somebody was in the back behind, in that. And the same thing in Metroid Fusion, there was also something around when she dropped the base down into the SR-38. So if that's the case, somebody keeping a tab on her, and you know what, the person could be. Let me even make it easier. The person who keep a tab on could be the guy who from Hunters, from Metroid Prime Hunters. What was the name of the Silax?
The crystal guy. Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
No, not that crystal guy. Remember the guy who got killed, who got messed up by Samus, but he survived. I forgot the name of his character. The space alien that survived the first encounter with Samus.
He's a lucky
I know who you're
bastard.
talking about. I know who you're talking about. I just can't.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because remember Prime Hunters is also in the Prime series, which is before, which will make sense. It's before
Super Metroid.
And Other M and all these other stuff. So he just I think it was Spyrax or something like that. Just S. He knows because remember he got so that he basically he could say that I made most of my weapons to be like Samus's suit, whatever.
Yep.
But what happened was they found out that they found out that they have she found out Chozos. And then he was basically keeping tab for somebody inside of the Federation, the upper Federation, to find out if she would ever find something and she find the Chozos. Because you remember, the other person who keeps on keeping tabs and never interact with her.
That's true. They're just following her. She's on the observation.
So basically, say that she found a planet that has the Chozos, the last remaining set of Chozos, and he's like, "Hey, we finally found the Chozos." And that person will be like, okay, now we can get maybe we can find the Chozos and get the data, get whatever, how they make all these crazy planets. And because remember the sanctuary, they made a sanctuary, and that's in the city, the sanctuary in the sky. And to their technology, their vast knowledge of technology is like crazy. So they would like to find out data. They would like to maybe kidnap a couple of the Chozos or take some of them out. Or maybe come to find out one of the people who was the one who's corrupted was a Chozo himself, and he's just trying to be the last person, and don't want nobody to reveal the secret of how he made the like Red was saying in the beginning, made the Chozos, made the Metroid and all this stuff. He was the one who did that.
But because I really don't want to see the last Chozos destroyed, so. Obviously, you would have to have the optional side quest where I had to. She helped save the last Chozos. She helped those animals in Fusion and Zero Mission because it's Samus. Yeah, but I mean we're talking about the story, but because we have all of this technology. I mean, I would like to see there be like gameplay mechanic wise, I mean, think about all the cool stuff we could have. We could have a power-up system akin to what we had on Super Metroid, where you could combine suit power-ups.
Combine your power-ups to make a better power-up.
Oh, corruption, because it was stacked. Yeah, it's stacked.
Yeah, but literally, you okay, let's see, I want to have this ability, this ability. Some abilities would obviously not be compatible, but other than that, you could make all types of weird, neat combinations. I think that would be cool. I think having the ship mechanic that you had in Corruption, where you could get it to bomb targets and tow stuff, but I think you should also have ship combat. That would be cool.
That would actually be a definite add-on to have,
Mm-hmm.
especially for like traveling between planets and stuff. That'd be awesome.
Well, that'd be a must. I'm sorry, I cannot go back to just like, oh, this is a safe spot and it healed me and gave me missiles. No, I can't go back to that. I'm sorry. Got to move forward. Can't go back.
Yeah. And,
not in a 3D game. Like in a 2D game, it works because like you're constantly, you kind of need like a safe hub. But I mean, what's the use of having a ship if you can't go places in it like that in a 3D game?
Well, yeah, you take, like I say, like you said, taking the role from corruptions, and you basically have a. Well, you will still need certain safe spots, but if you go find a landing spots to land it, like you make it like a challenge, like you did in corruptions, like you can find a way like, okay, this will be a great spot that I could set up a home beacon here, kind of like Xenoblade Chronicles.
Exactly,
like,
but you got to clear the area out first. You got to I mean, it would be cool. Like you go to an area, and let's say like there you've got space pirates have set up a base on one end, and the Federation has set up a base on the other, and they're destroying, like they're shooting each other. It's a war zone. So once you clear out with whatever the problem is there, like a new area opens up where you can land your ship and do stuff like that. And like, you know, that'd be cool. Like how they had in Corruption, where on Brio you had to like you had to shoot these shield generators down, but they had anti-air batteries, so you had to take out the anti-air batteries first. Then you could land your ship. Then you could shoot the missile generators and bomb them, and then get the shield generator down. Like, I mean, I want to give us a city to friggin' explore. Have Samus actually take on optional bounties for money, because that's what she does.
Yeah. I was the guy's name is Weevil. That's what the guy's name is.
Yeah, like.
Yeah, I was just checking the chat and I saw it and I was just about to say.
Yeah, I'm just saying. I mean, you know, it would be cool to have, like, let's say you want to get, like, in order to get, like, I don't know, like you can find sub tanks, but you, like, you know, through normal exploration, like, oh, you entered a room, there's something in here. But like maybe like, hey, Samus goes to let's say a space station or a city, and they're like, look, this guy right here, he's a bad dude. We need him taken down, and you get a sub tank if you defeat him, or you get a missile upgrade or whatever. That would be a cool way to, because I mean we know Samus is a bounty hunter, but typically she.
I wouldn't. You know what? I won't. I'll go against one thing. I don't want it to go that regards of the missile, whatever. I'll go with that.
With E-tanks.
With E-tanks and missile upgrade, no, because that means that everybody know how her suit works.
Well, you're right. You're right. But okay, maybe instead of E-tanks, you get these weird artifacts that are Chozo technology, but no one really knows what they do. But Samus knows what they.
Well, like Fusion, how not Fusion, Zero Mission, you could have got weapons, but you did not know it was attached to your suit, but you couldn't access it until you went to the trials and everything was unlocked. Because
exactly, like stuff like that. That would be cool. I would like to see that. Like
I want to add to what you just said, Red. Like, or remember, the ship is a brand new ship she has. Maybe she could do the bounties to find stuff to help her ship upgrade.
Exactly, the same thing. Cool. They're like, okay, some pirates have been attacking this shipping lane, and we like every time we come there, like every time the Federation goes there, they're gone by the time they get there. But if you use this signal to make your ship seem like to sensors seem like it's a frigate like carrying cargo, then they'll attack your ship and you can take them out. So then it's like it starts with ship combat, then she boards it and it turns into like an encounter. Like I want Metroid to jump from just because look, we all like the Metroid formula, but I think at this point it kind of needs to grow.
Yeah, it does.
I mean, and I'm not saying I'm adamant about this. I wouldn't buy a Metroid if it didn't have this. I would really like to see a city with people in it that she can interact with, and like have conversations for like little things. Like a dude's like, hey, you know, like.
Well, I want. If it's city, then I would. Okay, then let's do. This is gonna piss off a lot of people. But again, I mean, again, I'm just gonna point it out. Like, if you're gonna go with your idea, Red, then
Yeah.
have it like she has, like she did in Fusion, that like she could turn off the suit. No, did she did in Fusion?
No, that was zero mission.
Yeah, it was Zero Mission.
Zero mission. Yeah.
No. In Prime and also in Metro Prime Corruption and in thing, you remember when you take a certain shot, the suit got turned off. Like in Fusion, when she woke up from the thing, all she did was whatever, and the suit came around, and when she woke up from her sleep, when she's in the
Oh
beginning of
yeah.
Corruption.
She can turn it. Yeah. I mean, that would be cool. No, that wouldn't bother me because obviously you wouldn't want someone walking around in a battle.
That's what
in a battle suit
That
in the
she
middle
could
of a
turn
city.
Yeah, do that. Like she could turn the suit off,
Yeah.
and she could mingle with people and get like you said, do the extra the side missions, or let's call it as that, the side missions.
Yeah,
Now,
like I mean, I think that would be cool. Like, okay, for example, you're like, let's say you go to a space station and they're like, we're having trouble with like there's something down there in like this part of the station, but there's important things in there and we can't get in because someone's locked down in there. You go down there and you find like a friggin' Kraid, but a pre-mutated Kraid. They're like on the lam from Pirates. They're like, look, I don't want any trouble. I'm just trying not to get killed. I'm in hiding, please. Just
that's funny.
and they give up their friends. You know, they're like, look, if you let me go, I'll tell you where Ridley went. And she's like, oh sure, yeah, sure, why not?
Okay.
I don't hate you.
All right. I'm liking how this is going, but I kind of unfortunately have to put an end to it. So we are going to do a part 2 to this. The next one is going to be Metroid Dread Part 2. Kind of like how my Legend of Zelda one went. It went from Legend of Zelda MMO to Legend of Zelda MMO Part 2. So this is going to be Part 2. And I'm going to demand that both of you come back.
Okay.
As well as having other people, but you two have to be back because you kind of got the ideas flowing, and it was getting exciting, and I'm like, I have to end it because there's other stuff I've got to do. So
Okay. Well,
unfortunately, I have to do that.
this is Mr. Red Fox.
Maybe next time there will be a Q&A.
Okay.
I couldn't do it this time. It's just I was trying to get this going and
Hey, at
get,
least
okay,
get the
dude.
show reestablished. So
hey, at least I wonder if yours gonna work like mine, since mine didn't work last time.
Yeah, if you do it through YouTube, I don't even know how to get it to run through YouTube. Yeah.
that's what I did this time, but it doesn't do the Q&A through YouTube for some reason.
Yeah,
So.
YouTube and Google. You guys need to sort yourselves out.
Yeah. But you guys go ahead, pimp out whatever you got to pimp out real quick. And
Okay, this is Mr. Red Fox. I was gonna do something today, but it didn't pan out. I'll be doing something tomorrow at 4. BS Busters talking Blast from the Past, old games. It's gonna be awesome, and I'll also be announcing the winner of my Q&A-a-thon. You will get access to several Steam games or GOG games, whichever way you want it. There's a list. Stay tuned. It's going to be awesome.
all right, and Mr. Liger, go ahead and pimp out your stuff.
Well, basically, this is like 1/2 an Enduo, and I have if I get time. I mean, if I got that's the magic word. But I am gonna have, since we talk about Metroid, I'm gonna do a series about Metroid, how I played all the Metroid games. It's sequential and what it meant to me, and how basically how one of the games made my company as big as it is. Thank God. And I have, but that's, like I said, that's a thing that I'm going to work on later on. Next thing will be, I have a video that I'm going to put up that's not controversial, but just I have to point out something. And last but not least, I have a podcast this Tuesday coming up. I did a one-on-one debate with OG of Play Essence, and I wanted people to go check it out, see what it is about the future of Nintendo and gaming itself. And the podcast is basically people's thoughts of that. Not it wasn't a debate, just a one-on-one, and see what people say about the video. So basically, you have to watch their video if you're gonna be on my podcast. I don't want nobody who ain't watch that. I mean, you gotta watch the whole thing through, so you come with intelligent stuff to say. I don't want no BS.
Fair enough.
So other than that, yeah, Tuesday 7:30. This Tuesday coming up, it's gonna be basically a endcast talking about a future about Nintendo and stuff like that.
All right. Well, I do have to do my final spiel that I've always done for this. So, this series of podcasts that originated on my channel, this is always going to be about spreading gamers' ideas and their thoughts, and hopefully the game industry will one day hear us and be like, well, these people are actually saying something worthwhile to listen to. So, with that said, if anyone is ever interested, hit me up. I have no problem with letting you bring your idea and taking myself to the sideline. As you can see, I was on the sideline most of this one because as much as I like Metroid, I have missed some things in the lore. So I took my time to listen to what these two dudes were saying, and it came out to be very good in my eyes. So, but that's really it. Thank you guys so much for listening in, and the people that were in the chat having a nice, deep conversation. I didn't get to read all of it, but I'm going to read it back after everything's done and over with. But y'all have a nice, wonderful evening, and I hope you guys enjoyed. And Gamer Idea Foundry is finally back. Peace out, people.
Peace.